Hello to my beautiful and lovely gamers, my name is Jonal. Today we are doing an Overwatch tier list for solo queue, meaning what I believe is the strongest heroes for solo queue to rank up with. And note that last part, because what this means is if a hero, for example, is over, it's like, can you play him in most situation, which I will talk about as if the enemy team runs a goats comp, if the enemy team runs a bunker comp, if the enemy team runs like a dive comp or a full mode DPS comp. Can you play this hero? How effective can this hero be? How easy it is to counter him as the enemy team? How easy it is for you to be dominating on that hero? That is where, if you are high on the list, you will be good in practically every situation and be very, very powerful. Even though it might require a lot of skill, this is not like the easiest hero to play. It's if you are good on this hero, how flexible are you in your rank matches? Like, how often do you need to swap off this hero because he's not strong enough to be able, and how difficult it's going to be for you to play this hero. Essentially, how big of a skill gap, right? Like, you can play Genji into Goats like I've done in GM, but you need to be very fucking good at Genji and really comfortable on Genji if you're gonna do so. So that's what this is gonna be about. If your hero is not on the top, I'm not saying it's not on the top or it's like at the bottom. Not saying your hero is shit. I'm just saying, in my personal opinion, as a private coach, as someone that see this a lot when I watch anything between bronze and top 500 in ranked, when I play myself in anywhere between diamond, masters, GM. And when I also, my experience from what I've seen from teams as I coach other teams, this is my experience. So let's drop below and tell me what you agree and disagree with and why, especially the last one, so we can help each other out with a little bit. We'll actually start from the top and go down. So I will say that the top heroes that should be added is Sombra and is Hanzo. Where is the Hanzo? A Hanzo would be here. There we go. Reason? It's quite simple. It's Hanzo and Sombra. These two can be played in most situations just because of the insane high damage. Also pretty high damage actually on the Sombra. She does way more damage than what people remember. Hank can be utilized against really anything. They play quad DPS, just hack the Hammond. Play Goats, you can hack that against bunker comps like Bastion or Rissa or something. You can hack that. EMP is very devastating. So if you're really good on Sombra, you can constantly be in fights, rotate around, deal shit ton of damage and hack shit. And Hanzo, he's just busted. You have shields? No, you don't. You have tanks? No, you don't. You have DPSs? No, you don't. Because I'll just kill them with insane damage. When we go into the A tier, this is where I will be starting to add most of the tanks, in my opinion. And again, this comes from my carry potential. So I'll add Zarya. Overall good. I'll add D.Va, and the reason, and I'll add Hog. Not D.Va, now I think about it. I want to add Monkey instead. I want to add, is there Reinhardt here? There's Reinhardt here. Wow, impressive. And I will actually also add Hammond, just because if you're good on these heroes, if you can play like these, you have like the most flexible. And reason they are not not up here is because in some situations you want to play Zarya, and oh, thankfully, but you know what I mean, right? In some scenarios you want to play Zarya. In some scenarios you want to play Hog instead. In some scenarios you want to play Ryan, some Winston, some Hammond. And actually, I would actually say, yeah, D.Va's. I feel that she's way less flexible compared to the others. Yeah, I will not add D.Va here. I will actually add D.Va and B. Because okay, yeah, they play Goats. Okay, yeah, I can normally help deal with that as a Hog or a Zarya or anything that me playing D.Va doesn't really help. They play bunkers. Me and D.Va can help. They play heavy DPS comp. Me as D.Va, it can work, but at that point I'd rather want a Hog. I just think that she's a little bit less flexible because she's so much more kind of easier zoned out by a lot of people, as she will have to play for high ground control and so on. And in a lot of DPS comps or a lot of comps with just like decent range, like Sense and so on, if you don't have a team around you, she becomes very, very devastating. In pro play, she's like almost a must. She's been a must for a very long time. But in solo queue, I just feel that you don't gain as much flexibility as you will get with like a Zarya pick or a Hog pick or any of these other tank picks. Outside of that, I will be adding, and this is like crucial for the lower tier, and this explains a lot about also why D.Va is in the lower, because Ashe is really good, Widow's still really good, I think Tracer is still really fucking good, I think Ana is really good, Zenyatta, Lucio, and I will actually also add Break here. I think all of these three DPSs here, you can pick them in most scenarios as long as you're good enough with them, flex around in between them, and you have like just insane amount of damage, and you can do so much. They work differently against Goats, right? If they play Goats, you might not want to play Widow. You might want to play Ashe instead. Sometimes they pay quad DPS with like Hammond, you might not want to play Ashe or Widow, you might want to play Tracer instead, right? They play Bunker Comp, you might want to play Ashe, you might want to play Widow, you might want to play Tracer. Depending on the situation, you might want to play different heroes of these. And same goes for support. These support heroes are very good at strong at carrying. Break is here because she fits into most team compositions. Then it's just because she's so flexible. You can play her, if your team runs Goats, you can play her. Your team runs quad or triple DPS, like a heavy DPS comp, you can still play Break as like a second heal. And same goes for Lucio. That's why they are there. And this, right, you notice you play D.Va against any of this, you're normally getting screwed very heavily over. Both off-tanks zone her out, right? She, of course, zones Winston out. Hammond can really zone her as well. Widowmaker, Ashe, Tracer, all of these up here zones down to D.Va. That's why D.Va is a rank out there. Where I will actually also add Orisa as the second off-tank because she's, you know, used in Bunker and that's really it. I will also add Soldier just because of Ashe and Widow. They have so much more range, and Hanzo and Sombra. All of these counter the B tier heroes. That's why they are there, in my opinion. I will also unfortunately have to drop my Genji here. It's such a struggle right now to play Genji, and the same goes for most of these. Most of these are countered and has to move down just because of what is above them. These are so much stronger, and therefore all of these kind of gives incredible counterplay to the ones below. Then we have Doomfist, and I know some Doomfist people are going to be really mad at me, but look at this lineup that's up top in front of this, right? Most of these heroes really counter Doomfist, or does a lot to him in the way of zoning and poking. I will also have to add Torb. I'm actually thinking about dropping him to B tier, just because I find him very strong, and he can be very, very strong, but I still think it's an unoptimal pick. I'll also add Bastion just because he's used in Bunker Comp right now because of Baptiste. I cannot add Baptiste here, unfortunately, as he's not on the template thing. I will add Mercy and Moira because you get very little carry potential compared to other supports. And they are they're easier zoned out right now than what they normally have been. And then in the bottom tier, I'll add these, these, just because they have very little flexibility and very little impact on matches. While you can do a lot on Reaper and you can do a lot on Junkrat, you can also very easily just get bullied around by most other heroes as they will outrange you and poke you and zone you out of space, and at that point, it doesn't feel like there's much you can do about it. This is my tier list for competitive play, for carry and flex plays. I think I've kind of given my thoughts around the different picks. That it's really about, let me just quickly open the drawing tool here, there we go. For me, it's just really about, you know, these can go against all situations. The A tier is really here to, just because they can't be played in every single situation, they counter whatever in the B tier. The B tier is also, and whatever is above, like A, B, and S, really counter what's in C, and all of this really counter what's in D. With no flexibility down here, right? So that is my personal opinion. I would like to hear your down in the comment section below. This is a little bit just for fun, just to give my like general on every single like hero and why they're there, without making the video too long. So I would love to hear your reasoning down below. Like, subscribe, bell notifications always. If you want to hire me as a private coach, $50 for a 2-hour session, hit me up on our Discord server, which I will be linking down in the comment section below, well, the description it's called, including with all other stuff like my Twitter and my Twitch and so on. I hope to see you guys around very soon. I love you guys very much. Please take care, stay positive, and as always, guys, my name has been Jonal, and you guys keep doing me in your crosshair.